If you think there's nothing to do in Newcastle and Lawrence County, then think again. Always stay connected to NCTV45 to receive the information on events going on in and around the area on a daily basis. Programs to view are Newswatch, The Morning Show, and Community Happenings. NCTV45 takes pride in bringing you the event and organization info that you want. NCTV45 is the #1 media source locally. NCTV45, anytime on your time. The Cedars restaurant in Newcastle wants you to indulge in the food from their pleasing menu. The Cedars features Mediterranean, pub food, Middle Eastern cuisine, and so much more. They're open every day 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Call the Cedars on the east side at 827 Addis Street, Newcastle. 724-658-9543. That's 724-658-9543.
Welcome to the Cedar Sports Corner, everybody. And Angelo, Heisman voting has finished. Not really much of a surprise with the trophy going to Bryce Young.
But that's okay. Because I think the big story is the Steelers are going to pick 12th. And with that 12th round pick, they get Kenny Pickett.
You know what? I think that would be actually a really good fit.
He had me on the fake slide.
He had me before the fake slide.
Yeah, I mean, the fake slide was thinking, winning, we're going to win.
Yeah, I tell you what, too. Whenever you get a role change named after you, you know you had an impact. So now the fake slide is gone.
Right.
But I'll tell you, the thing I like about Pickett is obviously he's accurate, decent arm strength. He does, this is going to sound kind of cliche, but it's true, he does have leadership intangibles. He does have a competitive nature and leadership. He likes to be the one to go in the clutch and try and win the game. Those are things you can't always teach.
This is true. And I think it is because of the coaching, everything propelled forward on where he was and is.
Right.
Okay. And thanks to Alabama and the Southeast Conference for making it that way, because now the teams in the Northeast have a chip on their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And, I can't help it. Whatever John and the guys at Coffee say, if you lose, you drop. Mm-hmm. It's not if you're Notre Dame, you drop, and if you're Ohio State, maybe you drop a little less. But if you're Penn State and you're Pitt, you drop a lot. I'm tired of it.
Me too. I think most fans are.
The Southeast Conference, good conference, but not God's gift.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think for, the last 2 decades, for the most part, it's been SEC domination. And it just...
Well, I don't even go for that. Because if you don't drop when you lose, then that ensures domination.
Mm-hmm.
To give you an idea, the way I'm doing it, Middle Tennessee, just because they're down south, I'm for Toledo. Northern Illinois, they're playing Coastal Carolina. And these are the 2 bowls that are this weekend, Friday the 17th. Let's go Northern Illinois.
It's weird. Like, I don't want to, be against any school that's down south, because there are a decent amount of, smaller southern schools. I just don't like the top-heavy bias of the SEC
towards the southern schools.
Yeah, like the voters and stuff. Look, I get it. Bryce Young, great quarterback. No one's denying that, but Pickett finishing 3rd in the Heisman voting, come on. 3rd. And
he won the ACC also. And
the thing is, since 2014, The winners of the ACC has either been Clemson and Florida State. And because of Kenny Pickett, he has put Pitt with Clemson and Florida State.
He's put it on the map.
Yeah, and look, I'm not saying next year Pitt's going to be back there. You know, Pitt might not be that good, but the point is, Pickett did more with less. You know, when you're in Alabama and you have so much talent at your disposal, I don't think it's as big as a story as someone like a Pickett who, although he did have a Jordan Addison, the team in general isn't loaded up on 4- and 5-star recruits.
Well, now, as you gander, and you can't gander, that's a shame, because I'd like to see, moving forward, you know, Pitt doesn't blow up against Western Michigan, and Miami 38-34, you're looking at one heck of a great season.
Yeah, I think
and you're talking 3 points against Western Michigan, 4 points against Miami. What the heck do you want, voters?
I know. And look, obviously the Western Michigan loss was a bad loss. But like as I say, upsets in college football happen. Every team, with the exception of like the Alabamas of the world, you're going to have bad losses. But I also think that Western Michigan loss kind of woke them up. Like kind of said, hey, get your crap together, guys. As far as Miami in general just seems to have Pitt numbers over the years. It's just one of those things. They just got Pitt's number.
And I don't usually do this, but looking ahead, Pitt's future could be very, very bright.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to start off the season the way you should start off the season. And this is one I'll go hell to Pitt. They're starting off with West Virginia.
Oh, my goodness.
And then they're playing Tennessee, and then they get Western Michigan.
At Western Michigan.
You know, so that you come off, you get 2 wins, you go up to Western Michigan, and in the words of the Duquesne Dukes, if you want to play, you got to go sometime to those smaller schools.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they do their SEC conference.
Mm-hmm.
When you're looking at the Notre Dame schedule, okay, at Ohio State, then they're playing Marshall, then they're playing Cal. So they have those 2 flip-flopped. But as it goes, the first 4 games aren't slouches as they go through their normal schedule. I would have liked to see a Pitt Notre Dame bowl game.
I wish Notre Dame could be. I mean, I know
Okay.
they're an ACC school in every sport but football. In football, they're like a pseudo ACC school because they have that like agreement where you play 5 ACC schools.
They're kind of discussing that. I'm not all sold that it won't happen. Now, as you look at the Penn State schedule, they play Purdue in West Lafayette, but then they get a cupcake, and no disrespect to Ohio, because they get them at Beaver Stadium. Then they go at Auburn, then they get a cupcake, Central Michigan. They're not going to play tough teams. This is the killer for Penn State, when they have to play Ohio State, Michigan, and Illinois, and Michigan State all in a row. Penn State doesn't like to do that.
I'll tell you what, I mean, Penn State usually has a pretty soft non-conference schedule, and then I'm not saying it's the toughest this coming year, but it's
Right.
still a little better than usual at least.
Yeah. So, as we covered that little area of college football, I think that's important, and I think it's time that we take a break.
And now a word from our sponsors.
The Crane Room for your lunch and dinner rendezvous. You'll enjoy their pleasant atmosphere. The Crane Room takes pride in their wide variety menu. Appetizers, sandwiches, soups, salads, entrees, pasta, and the best burgers in town. Newcastle's best selection of domestic, import, and craft beers from around the world, and the Crane Room features a 35-tap draft system. Ask about their daily specials that will please you every time. The Crane Room is located at 3009 Wilmington Road in Neshannock Township. Call 724-656-1553.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Cedar Sports Corner. And we talked college football, our first segment. Now,
I think you got to talk college basketball, and I'm going to lead off with the 4-7 Dukes, which this is, as an alum, this is total disappointment. You know, at first, they were playing, and I'm talking in years past, they beefed up the schedule that was really ridiculous. You had West Virginia, Pitt. They did play LSU, and this is 100 years of basketball. So now they take a step back, and again, no disrespect, Rider, Hofstra, Weber State, Northeastern.
well, you know what?
You know, you get 4 of those and you only win 1.
I don't know. Look, you know more about their roster and how they were projected to do this year more than me, of course. Now, I don't know who they had coming back. I don't know if they were expected to be any better than the record they are now.
But here's the thing. When you get to December 30th, the party's over. Because then you go into A-10 play, and there aren't any friends in that group.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
Richmond and Virginia Commonwealth always beefed up. St. Joe's will play anybody tough. And hello, welcome to Dayton. And they'll fly you right out of the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So you've only got 2 games. This Sunday, UC Irvine and Wolford on the 22nd. And then, hello, it's Christmas. And you've got a miserable record no matter who you've played.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a good sign for people that, or judges who want to take you into not even the NCAA tournament, but the NIT. You're going to have to clean up.
Yeah, they would have to go
real
really
quick.
They have like no room for error almost at this point. I'll
Yeah.
tell you. You know what? Who has? Speaking of no room for error, and this will make you feel a little better about your Duquesne Dukes. I mean, oh god. I kind of wish we didn't have to talk. I actually wish we didn't have to talk Pitt hoops. Pitt, 3-7 losses to the Citadel, UMBC, and Monmouth. Oh, like when you're an ACC program, when you're a man, you can't.
And here's what the killer is with that. They're 3-7 and the Dukes are 4-7. Is there any hope in Pittsburgh for playing basketball?
Probably not this year. I think it's going to take a couple years for basketball in Pittsburgh to kind of get itself back up there. And you know, it's a shame because there is no NBA in Pittsburgh.
Right.
So Duquesne and Pitt should be having a pretty good following.
Right.
You know?
Now, this is what Pitt has next. And
Oh, God.
they could go 0-3. And you've got St. John's, who is always tough, Big East foe. And that's at St. John's. Jacksonville, I learned about from Duquesne.
Uh-huh.
They're a decent team. And then You've got Notre Dame, and they just beat number 10 Kentucky.
I'll tell you what, Ange, if they just continue to lose, and I don't see why they wouldn't, do you fire Jeff Capel mid-season?
That was funny. I see no reason why there's any optimism in Mudville.
I mean, they're not better than any of the teams on their schedule. Look how many games they got left.
And with the likes of Syracuse, Virginia, Boston College, Florida State, North Carolina State, and North Carolina. And
I don't know. I mean, do you fire Jeff Capel midway through the season, or do you wait till after? I mean,
is anybody capable of leading Pitt out of the doldrums? I mean, I say take the Panthers and the Dukes, take them to the gym in the middle of the city, whatever it's called these days, because they keep changing the name. Just let them play each other every day. If they split, it's going to look better.
Yeah, maybe they could take the year off.
Than what they're
practice.
doing.
It's bad. I don't know who's going to want to coach Pitt either. Think about it. Who's going to want to?
Well, here's the thing, and I contended this. Pitt was a football school. Should have never torn down Pitt Stadium. People liked going to Pitt Stadium. The ACC is a very, very difficult basketball conference.
Yeah, so Pitt can hold its own in the ACC in football, as we've seen. Basketball.
Yeah, I would have, if it was me, I would have had and tried to move to the Big East football conference. And I would have said yes in football and basketball to schools that are in the A10 and that you could pull back. At that time, UMass was playing West Virginia, and I would have said, Duquesne, get your act together, because we can't take this. You have to come into this like the old Eastern 8, and you got to be capable. Duquesne was capable in the late 70s, early 80s, and then went to no capable. Maybe they should change coaches. Capable go down and the other guy go up, and let's see if it gets any better.
Well, I mean, there's already rumors that Pitt's going to try and target, that Mark Schmidt guy? Is he from, St. Bonaventures or St. Francis or something?
Well, St. Bonaventure is actually having a good year. The Bonnies always play. They always play the Dukes tough. And they're in the middle of the Allegheny Forest up there in Olean, New York. You can't even get there. That's how crazy that is. But we better hear from these folks.
So if we're from our sponsors, and then we'll come back and wrap things up.
Entrusting your loved one to a funeral director is a very personal and emotional decision. The funeral director you choose must understand the importance of the decision you have made. When you call the William and Roger DeCarbo Funeral Home, I recognize what a privilege it is to be chosen at your time of need. We will provide you and your family with the best service possible, with sincerity and compassion.
The William and Roger DeCarbo Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1941.
Come dine with us, come dine today. If you could use some real good food, there's a place not far away. If you could use a drink or two, or a place to go and play, come to Gallows Italian Villa today.
Simple elegance in a majestic setting. Yes, right here in downtown Newcastle, minutes away from shopping, seconds from a gas station, and let's not forget pastries, a restaurant, and oh yes, the schools. The Majestic, for that majestic lifestyle. right in the greatest castle, Newcastle. Come by and take a look. Okay, we are back, and last thing we got to talk about, the NFL and the way the AFC North is playing.
Oh boy,
it looks like not for long.
Well, so we got the Ravens at first.
Yeah,
8-5.
and let's take a look at what the Ravens have left. Okay, left for the Ravens, okay, the Packers. This Sunday, 12-19. I say the Packers win. It's doable. Then they play the Bangling Bungles.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You know, I know Lamar Jackson's hurt, but they still have a stingy defense, and, you know, it's not...
If let's do this hypothetically. The Ravens split. They get 2 wins, 2 losses.
They probably will. That's what I'm thinking. Even though Lamar Jackson's injured, they might get another win or two. Get to like 10 wins.
2 wins and 2 losses make them 10-7. The Cleveland Clownies, okay, what they're looking at is almost the same thing as the Ravens, because they go Raiders, and I don't think they can beat the Raiders. Packers, and I don't think they can beat the Packers. At the Steelers and at the Bungles. So maybe 1-3 for the Brownies.
I think that they should. I think they're not. I'm pretty sure they're going to beat the Steelers. They're not going to.
It's at Pittsburgh. Hold that thought. So 1-3 gets them to 8-9. The Bengals, who are in about the same spot as the Steelers, and when you look at the last part of their schedule, the Broncos, up there, mile high. I don't see it happening. The Ravens, they have to win. At the Chiefs, I don't see it happening. And then at the Browns, and that's the Battle of Ohio. So, if they would split, okay, you have a 10-7 Raven team. You have a 9-8. Okay, now you have the Steelers, who magic could happen. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to last forever, but they could make the playoffs.
I mean, I guess technically, but like, first of all, no team's clinched an actual playoff spot right now in the NFL. I mean,
well, here, they have to beat the Ravens. They have to beat the Browns.
Well, yeah, I just don't know.
Can they beat Tennessee?
The thing with the Steelers, they're so unpredictable. It's like they could lose anyone and they could beat anybody. So yeah, they could beat Tennessee. They could also lose the remaining 4 games. You just don't know with these Steelers. I kind of want them to. I'm a Steeler fan, but they're not going far in the playoffs, even if they were to find a way to sneak in. I kind of want them to lose the rest of their games.
You want draft choices.
Yeah, at this point, you lose the battle to win a war type of thing.
Right, and here I'm looking. They beat the Titans. The Chiefs lay down because they're going to clinch. And then you've got a 2-game season with the Browns and the Ravens, and the Browns are in Pittsburgh, and the Ravens down there, and by that time the Ravens could be in this race.
Right. Give me a good draft choice. I don't want them to miss their chance to get Pickett.
Yeah, I understand that. So, final words.
Well, final words. Again, I hope Kenny Pickett takes the bowl game off. I do. I don't, because I don't want him to get hurt.
You've opened the can of worms there with me, because I think it's your job to play. You battle for the school.
It's millions of dollars, man.
I
want him to come to Pittsburgh. But then again, if he gets hurt, maybe like that
But
lowers his draft.
He hasn't gotten hurt in 10 games.
Well, he got hurt in the game against, I think it was North Carolina, but he came back. Or maybe that was Virginia. I'm just saying, the luck Pitt has, even, like, it's like everything has went so well for them this year. I kind of feel like there's something waiting there in the sky almost. But look, here's the deal. These bowl games are meaningless now because of the college football playoff. I'm telling you, these New Year's Six bowls, they're exhibition games. It's like the Pro Bowl in the NFL.
I think that's hype. I think you fight for your school, you want to win, and you want to send yourself off. I'm not saying that the media hasn't put it that way. I'm saying you want to try and win.
I guess so. But how about you? What are your final words?
All I want for Christmas is 2 new basketball coaches in Pittsburgh.
Same with me, I think.
You know,
I can deal with that. Come on, Santa.
So
Let us know.
that was the Cedars Sports Corner. Nctv45. We're available anytime on your time.
Have a good one, everyone.
The Cedars Restaurant in Newcastle wants you to indulge in the food from their pleasing menu. The Cedars features Mediterranean, pub food, Middle Eastern cuisine, and so much more. They're open every day, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Call the Cedars on the east side at 827 Addis Street, Newcastle. 724-658-9543. That's 724-658-9543.